Returning to my Coin Lady channel, I am pleased to see you again. Everyone knows that the SEC recently filed an appeal against Ripple, XRP, or XRP. We first received document 978, the Notice of Appeal, on October 2nd, so it wasn't long ago. Notice of Appeal to the Second Circuit Court of Appeals of the United States is visible here. The plaintiff in this case, who is suing the Securities and Exchange Commission, is formally appealing the ruling of the lower court, which was handed down on August 7, to the United States Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit. Here we are talking about the XRP secondary sales in particular. So, this was basically the point where everyone arrived. It seemed as if the SEC were making an appeal. Certainly, and they were given a full 14 days to present this appeal to the court. In particular, they were up till yesterday at midnight during the 14-day period. Everyone thinks the SEC will miss this deadline, and it has been widely reported on crypto Twitter and other platforms that the SEC has indeed missed the deadline, which is rather intriguing. According to a spokeswoman, Brad Garlinghouse, who is providing a view from the Eleanor turret, said that the appeal is progressing properly and that the records will be filed publicly soon. He also mentioned that he heard back from the SEC this morning. Things are moving along normally for an agency that makes up its own rules as it goes, Brad said 8 hours ago. Currently, there is a school of thought within the community that thinks the SEC has missed the mark as no publicly available filings have been made by them. We will attempt to dissect the opposing side's position in a moment, but they regrettably think there is still some way to go. In all honesty, if the deadline you were hoping to meet was October 2nd, then yes, they have missed it. Even if the SEC fails to meet the deadlines, courts may nonetheless permit late filings, particularly in cases involving government entities. For the most part, it's up to them. Give a response. Just as we mentioned, judicial actions involving regulators are rarely easy. His insight into the committee's ambitions for a speedy triumph serves as a reminder of this. Hey, we get it, it's late, but it's all right in the end. I suppose it is just the way things are in our world, but it is still disappointing. Every tree in Stewart also emerges. He also explicitly said that he thought the deadline was the 16th. Therefore, there are some major issues with that, but, to further complicate matters, Eleanor Terra is here to provide us with the docketing notice. The United States Exchange Commission refiled its notice of appeal in the aforementioned reference case today, October 4, docketed as 24-2648. The truth is, and if we're all being totally forthright, it's probably the 4th. After adding that, we have 14 days, which brings us to the 18th. Now that would be within the next day, and that would inevitably entail that the SEC's noise would basically align, I suppose. In what ways could it turn out? A lot of people think it will fail miserably. Even with the XRP and Ripple counter appeal, this is only going to take longer than it already has. In the end, it will only serve to deepen the situation and carry on. Also, I feel like a lot of people have had enough of it. Clearly, we would prefer if this man would step aside. Indeed, he stood there, giving the signal. This video is all he has, so he's basically trying to convince you to enjoy it. You could say Gary Gensler could come out on top, but the truth is it will go on well into 2025, if not into the year the bull market reaches its cyclical peak. Now, that could be fairly wild, but it will be under a Trump administration, Harris, and Gary is leaving in about 2 weeks. In addition to being quite crazy, I believe it will take a little over 2 weeks, maybe even 3 weeks. We are witnessing other developments related to Ripple, but ultimately, it all could be for naught if certain events transpire. Moonbear, about which we spoke yesterday, has 60 million users. Are you ready for this? They are now enabling customers to purchase cryptocurrency via MoonPay and are also connecting with Venmo. This indicates that XRP is also being considered by numerous individuals in that region. However, despite all the confusion surrounding the XRP court battle and its future, several collaborations have been maintained. Regardless of whether it's the 16th, the 18th, yesterday, or in 2 days, we do have this build-out that XRP is moving on with life. Basically, we can't afford to ignore this situation. It is time for us to proceed. We must remain steadfast in our belief in the future of XRP and the cryptocurrency market as a whole. We are currently at a crucial juncture. For what seems like an eternity, we've been discussing this W pattern, this descending channel, that we're hoping to see emerge during this breakout. What a perfect storm has broken loose right now. On my live stream, I was discussing this same thing. The weekly macros large W pattern is clearly visible, as are the retests and rebounds that we're hoping for. You may observe Bitcoin's current behavior if you zoom in a bit closer to this area on the hourly chart. In this area around 67.5 thousand, we are preparing for what may be another run leading up to a retester. Make sure to include that in your list. We will observe its progress, as it is going to be intriguing. It is possible that we will encounter the retest and rejection process again when the market recovers. From a macro perspective, it is possible to observe the beginnings of a W pattern, a triple bounce, and a subsequent break. Put $67,580 on your list, it will be the fundamental. Coming to XRP, it's following a similar pattern, although it's also on an attractive rising trajectory. On the hourly view of the daily candle, this is upward. This consolidation phase within the RSI has already been discussed. Divergence appears to be holding up really well. Despite this major worrying dump, we are in a sluggish trend, as we observed earlier, later, and again here. Thank you for watching my channel and for subscribing. I will see you later.